Welcome and thank you for joining us for the International Student Connect Canadian Income Taxes presentation. This presentation will be the first part of a two-part series. It is quite a lengthy process, so we've decided that we are going to break it down for you into two different sections. Okay, so we'll just get right into it right now. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the tax system. Do you have to file taxes as an international student? When should you file your taxes? And what forms are you required to use as part of the filing process? Okay, so www.cra-arc.gc.ca is the CRA's website. CRA is for the Canada Revenue Agency. So any information that you require, or if you require further or additional information on this topic, please do feel free to visit that website where you will find a wealth of information. Canadian tax is collected by three levels of government, and so that means that you will be, we are taxed as Canadians at the federal level, the provincial level, the municipal or territorial level. So our roads, our schools, healthcare, social security for low-income families, all of these are some of the benefits that we actually gain from paying taxes. So to us, it is quite important that you fulfill that particular obligation. Now, tax revenues also provides the goods and the services taxes, so harmonized sales tax credit. So when you pay your taxes, there is what we called a harmonized sales tax credit that comes from the taxes that you have paid. This means when you file your taxes, you could be eligible for various types of tax credits. Taxes collected by the CRA is basically, the CRA is a federal government agency, and they collect the taxes and distributes it as it is needed throughout the different ministries. Each year, as a Canadian resident, we complete what is known as our income tax return for tax purposes. So we either pay more taxes or we will get some money back. We will get a tax credit from the government depending on your income and the amount of taxes that you have already paid. As an international student, filing taxes depends on your situation. So you must file taxes if you, one, pay taxes, want to claim a refund, such as the HST refund, your spouse or Canadian partner wants to receive Canadian child tax benefits. So many international students do come to Canada with their children. And so if you want to claim Canadian the child tax benefits, then you may need to do that as well. Carry forward unused tuition or textbook amounts, or report income or claim working income benefits. Why is this important for an international student? Well, if you decide that you are going to transition from an international student to a permanent resident in Canada, this tax that you file is actually important to your application. The government will ask when you submit your application for your tax return. So they'll ask for a notice of assessment. So again, if you are planning to become a permanent resident, it is quite important for you to file your taxes. Now, every resident or non-resident with a social insurance number, or if you have a ITN number or a TTN number. So the SIN is the social insurance number. The ITN is an individual tax number, and the TTN is a temporary tax number. These numbers are provided to individuals by the CRA if you don't qualify for the social insurance number. So again, to those of you who are hoping to remain in Canada after you've completed your studies, it is an excellent, in fact, it is almost critical, to say the least, that you do file your taxes. CRA has resources that can actually help you with that. So when you're ready to make that, when you're ready to complete your taxes, you can go to the CRA's website and it will guide you step by step through the process in terms of how do you complete that. Now, if you are unclear of, what kind of residency status you have, definitely visit the CRA. There is a form on the site called the S5-F1-C1 determining resident status. Once you get there, click into that form and it'll walk you through the process. Or you can watch the video on the CRA's website as well, Newcomers to Canada Tax System video series. It's a very, very good series and very enlightening for you. Now, what does the government do with the taxes, and what does the government tax? The government tax that you pay will be taxed on money that you earn or money from investments that you have made. What do we not get taxed on? You don't get taxed on your scholarships or bursaries for full-time students. If you've got money in the bank, that is tax exempt if you're saving it, and any money that you use for capital investments. So if you're one of those international students who have quite a bit of money and you'd like to invest it, rest assured it will not be taxed if it has been invested in capital funds. Some taxes that will affect you by the CRA is the harmonized sales tax, or what is called the HST. It's collected when you make a purchase, so at the point of sale, and it's shown on your invoice. So I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity, well, I'm sure you have, because you must have bought things, but I don't know if you've ever gone to a store, for example. And when I first came to Canada, that happened to me, and I was just very floored. I was blown away. I walk into the store, looked at this beautiful dress and a purse and boots, and so I picked up all these things. And the price that was on the sales rack was like, I think it was in Reitman's at the time, the price that was on the sales rack was very different from the price that I was being told to pay at the register. So I get to the register, and the young woman rings up my items and then says to me, as if she'd say, for example, your total is $175. And I'm like, no, I calculated that before I got here. And she's like, that is your total. And I'm like, no, it is not my total. What have you added? I'm only buying these things. And then she looks at me with this, very blue-eyed, like, okay, are you insane, woman? It's the taxes. And I'm just like, oh, so the price that I see on the rack is not the final price? No, it's not. So this is what our HST is about. The harmonized sales tax is actually added at the point of sale. So when you get up to the register and you're ready to pay your bill, you will notice that you're paying a little bit extra on certain items at the register. Now, property tax is another if you own property, and income tax for non-resident Canadians. You will pay taxes on all income earned inside of Canada if you are a non-resident. Now, when should income taxes be filed? Residents and non-residents file income taxes for periods between January 1st to December 31st, on or before April 30th. So you can file your tax on January 2nd or 3rd if you want. You can just go through and complete your tax filing at that point. You can file your taxes through the services of a chartered accountant. You may use the Revenue Canada software, which is very easy to use, quite easy, and it is at no cost to you. Or you may submit your filed taxes via mail or electronic mail. So you can explore any of those formats by going to the CRA's website to get further details on that. When should income taxes be filed? Again, income taxes should be completed before April 30th each year. And for international students who haven't been able to file, you are allowed up to 3 years to do so. You may be allowed to file under some exceptions after the 3-year period, but that is generally with some exceptions. So again, definitely, if you have any information, if you need additional information, either contact the CRA or go to their website where you'll find a lot of information. Certain tax deductions are taken from your pay by your employer, and it's forwarded to the CRA. So your employers may deduct, they must actually deduct federal, provincial, and territorial taxes. Canada Pension Plan, or if you are in Quebec, the Quebec Pension Plan premiums. These employment insurance premiums that are collected, for example, if you lose your job, you can actually, depending on whether or not you qualify for unemployment insurance, you would be able to access unemployment insurance based on the premiums that you have already paid. You can track the amount that is paid to the CRA from the amount that is shown on your paycheck. So you can, there's a pay stub that you get from your employer. You will see that information there. For international students, there is a general income tax and benefit package that you can pick up at the post office. Ironically, I'm saying the post office, and there was just a post office, one of the Canada Post transport cars just went right by where I'm sitting. So you can get that from the post office. The income tax and benefits package for non-residents, you can collect, you can use one of those. If you complete your own return, you can use NetFile. It is a certified software, and you can find it at netfilecertifiedsoftware.ca. NetFile is not accessible under some situations. So go to their website and you'll be able to identify where and when you can access that information. It is www.netfile.gc.ca. Okay? Now, you can also file a paper copy of your tax return by mailing it to the local tax center, and you can download and print a copy of that tax package from the CRA's website. If you're using the general package, you can pick it up at any Canada Post location from February until May. Whether you prepare your tax return yourself or it's prepared by a tax professional, remember that filing online means that you get a refund if you're eligible, if you qualify for the refund faster. So once again, here we come to the end of our presentation. Our resources are on our website at www.internationalstudentsconnect.org. You may visit our website again at www.internationalstudentsconnect.org. Our transition plan is a very useful tool for those of you, especially, not necessarily only for people who are planning to remain in Canada, but it is quite a useful tool for those of you who are planning on staying here in this country after you've finished your studies. For example, the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program has several different requirements and steps that if you're going to apply under that category, you will need to follow some clear guidelines and start the preparation process prior to when your application is going to be ready. So if you use the transition plan, it'll truly help you. It'll be a good guide for you to plan out how and when you need to get things completed. The International Student Connect project is funded by the Ministry of Immigration, of the Ministry of Citizenship and Immigration, and Costi Immigrant Services is the coordinating agency for this project. Please do feel free to give us a call if you have any questions at 1-844-871-567, or you may email us at isc@costi.org. Once again, you may email us at isc@costi.org if you have additional questions you'd like to ask us, or you can call us at 1-844-871-4567. Thank you once again for joining us for this presentation. Please do look for part 2 of the Canadian tax presentation. Thanks again.